We're in an environment now where the funding that's coming to us, particularly if it's government funding through the public purse, is getting lower and lower. And so we need to turn much more to the social entrepreneur who's going to continue to run these services at a reasonable and hopefully at a low cost as well. And we can only do that if we generate our own income, because we can no longer rely upon grant funding from the public sector. There will be contract opportunities, but those seem to be favourable more to the larger organisations than the smaller organisations.
I'm Sue Cloud, and I came to study at School for Social Entrepreneurs because I'm a community artist, and I wanted to set up an art centre in Bognor Regis. On a business side, I think that's initially why I came to School for Social Entrepreneurs, was to learn more of the business side. I'm a creative person, and I've always worked to that strength, so I feel very secure in what I deliver as an artist in the community. But on a business side, and to get a social enterprise off the ground, you have to have more than that. And since I've been on this course, I've realised that creativity is in all spheres of learning, and so it's not just using your artistic creativity. There is creativity in the business sense, and it's using what you've learnt and what you've picked up and all the tips to use that in a creative way, but it's a business way, not an artistic way.
It's really tough. I mean, any startup business is tough, and especially in the current environment. And, you know, whether it's a charity, whether it's a social enterprise structure, whether it's a company structure, you know, ultimately the money's got to stack up, you've got to deliver, you've got to prove that what you're doing makes a difference. But they still have to run, they still have to watch the money, they still have to manage the finances, the bottom line still has to stack up. But in many ways it can be more difficult, because they also have to think about the social bottom line, and in some cases the environmental bottom line. So how are they measuring their social impact as well? Are they really making a difference that they set out to? So it's always that combination of business and the social aspects.
There's only one difference between a social enterprise and a private business, and that is what happens to the money. The money in our case goes to improving social issues in the community that we work in. And so we still need to operate as a business, producing a surplus or a profit, if you want to call it that, which can then be reinvested back in to produce more services and more benefit to the community. And that's where the tough part is, because I think there's an awful lot of people out there who've got some fantastic ideas which they would love to do for the benefit of the community, but how do you transform it into a self-sustainable business where you can do it year after year? And that's where the social entrepreneur comes in, because they're prepared to take risks. And I think that's one of the real lessons we learn when we go through this whole social entrepreneur course, really, is to not just think about the really good social issues that we're delivering, but how to translate those into business propositions which can sustain our business and help us to continue delivering on the social side.